Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Uncanny Omar. I am never late. I arrive just on time. And because I don't want... Well, it's my time, okay? And because I don't want my friend to hold the mask up the entire time, I'm going to introduce Omnidog first. Omnidog, who are you? Why are you wearing a mask?
This is my Omnidog mask, Omnidog's Vault on YouTube, Omnidogs_Vault on Instagram. Thank you for having me on, even though I was on time and you were late. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for calling me out. To my right-hand side is the Norwegian assassin, Lars, formerly of Wizard Magazine and now writing Doctor Who novels and G.I. Joe strategy guides.
For Mad Norwegian Press, yes. And, someone in the comments had the temerity to assault my dignity, thinking that I was the reason that we were late, which is really funny because I was here 10 minutes early. 10 minutes early, staring at your command chair, which was, turned away from me almost in rebuke. Yeah. So
throw Omar under the bus day? I told you how bad my day has been already. I broke a camera.
Yeah.
All right.
It is true.
Kurtis, you want to join that bandwagon?
My name is Kurtis Finley from the Epic Marvel Podcast, and no, I don't hold anything against you, Omar, even though you didn't tell us at all why we were just sitting there behind the scenes, not doing anything.
For 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
We were in detention. Yeah.
10 minutes early is still 25. The case stands.
Oh, yes. Everyone's wondering why we started 35 after the hour.
Oh, because I give my sometimes Kurtis has had issues in the past, Lars has had issues in the past. So I was like, 5-minute leeway, right? Like tell them 12:30 and here we are.
That's fair.
But yeah,
certainly have issues. Thank you for mentioning it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad to have everybody here. Thank you so much for joining us. This is one of my favorite videos I get to do because I get to join my friends to talk about these upcoming collected editions. Some of these I'm sure people have read, some of them I've already announced, but here you find the prices and the final covers unless they get changed later. I don't think they usually do that. There have been some cases like Thor, that's the last one that came to mind, but the content as well. So here we are all together. No, let me fix that for you. That's a cool shirt, Omar. Thank you so much, BJ Kick.
This is my Marvel shirt that I got for Father's Day.
Oh, I see.
Well, let me see who's on there. Okay, see Hawkeye.
Yeah, definitely Hawkeye.
Weird.
Captain America.
I don't need to be staring at your chest so long.
I think like
America.
Okay, here's my arm.
I think the armadillo is on there. Yeah.
Who's the orange? I can't tell.
Scarlet Witch, maybe?
Scarlet Witch, yeah.
Oh, Rocket.
Rocket's on there, yeah.
Rocket.
Yeah, the orange one is Rocket Raccoon. Tell by the gun.
Just never have your breasts been studied so in such great detail.
Weird.
I'll pretend you didn't say that.
Yeah. That was weird. All right. Shout out to Kurtis. Love the Epic Marvel Podcast. Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. I just want to say also that I'm taking a little bit of a hiatus on the podcast just at the moment. A few months. I just got some other work I have to catch up on.
Children.
For
is it the children?
Yeah.
It's the children.
It's partly that. No, I'm working on a For Better or For Worse reprint series with the Library of American Comics and currently working on volume 7. So I have to get all of that kind of finished. We've got some deadlines coming up.
Gotcha. Well, that's valuable service, and thank you for doing it. And is the Epic Podcast not making you rich?
You can't all be Omar,
Do you not enjoy being rich?
What does that mean? Do you think I'm rich? I'm not even Kentucky rich.
You make more money off of your YouTube channel than I do, that's for sure.
Same. I can't afford a camera.
Okay. Well,
this is my crappy.
I can't afford it either. I got to get it back.
I have my crappy Mac camera working. I got to fix that.
Great, dude. Some things don't need to be in 8K. Just saying.
Oh,
you look great. Not you necessarily.
That's not really a compliment, but
that was sort of a compliment.
This.
Omar Bobby Pizza. He must be rich.
Whoa. BJ got
Wow.
pizza from you.
Yeah,
Nice.
I got to
Wow.
meet BJ Kicks at Heroes Con. Yeah,
I mean, was there meat on it or was it just cheese?
I made
On a
sure he
paper
got
plate.
one piece of meat on there. Okay, so before we get started and talk about tax returns and what tax bracket we fall in, I do want to thank Marvel and David Gabriel, especially for putting this together for us. We get an early look. Sometimes we even catch mistakes whenever we do these videos. So, yeah, big thank you to them for giving us early access. This will be available a couple of weeks from now everywhere else, like comicreleases.com. It's my favorite place to send people. It's ran by a really nice guy, nice crew that works over there. All right, so let's get started. We're looking at Omnis, Marvel Masterworks, Epic Collections, trade paperbacks, graphic novels, the smaller case books, Mighty Marvel Masterworks. There was something else. Oh, I do have a big announcement coming from Marvel here in the next week or so. Okay. It's not Omnibus related, but it is a big announcement. It means a lot to a lot of people. So
a Dazzler miniseries?
Well,
a Dazzler miniseries? No Dazzler. Finally made it to one of these preview streams. Awesome to see Jess here this time.
Yeah. Peace and love.
Now it's the Dazzler buzz.
See? People want it.
I know they do, but Kurtis hates Dazzler.
Oh my gosh.
What? I don't understand how I got that reputation.
That's what I've heard. So everybody joining us live, hit that like button, please, before we get started.
JV in the comments was saying that he's only here for the epics. Now, Kurtis, would you say that you admire someone who knows what they like?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm only here for the epics too.
The hell with everything else. Just this is what matters. Yeah.
Make the preview bigger. I can't already making it bigger. Okay, we'll do that.
Keep going. We're pissing off Maximus Magni. Can we just get to the books?
I know. For
Is that the way it's in your head? I'm trying to find the freaking thing. All right, let's do it. I'm gonna go ahead and make it bigger before anybody else asks. There, that's big. All right, so here we go. Fantastic Four. This is the Mark Millar and Brian Hitch Omnibus. These are your two covers, your standard edition cover and the Mark Silvestri direct market cover. Really surprised with this one. This is one of those books. When I announced it, I talked about how it was on Amazon for years. I think it was a mistake. I think it was just supposed to be a trade paperback, but they had a Fantastic Four by Millar Omnibus. I'm not kidding, for years. I think if you still look, you can still find it. But this collects Fantastic Four 554 to 569, Annual 32, Fantastic Force 1 through 4, and Marvel 1985, the miniseries. This is where they're putting it in. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I've heard good things about this. It's kind of exciting that it's actually coming out.
Yeah. So I really like this. Now, it seemed, because I will try most things that Mark Millar and Brian Hitch do. It seemed to not go over well with a lot of people. It seemed like traditional Fantastic Four fans didn't like it. And then traditional Mark Millar and Brian Hitch fans didn't like it because it was too traditional. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it greatly. So I'm looking forward to this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Kurtis, this isn't available in Epic podcast or Epic format. Sorry. Have you read this?
Yes, I have read this, and I enjoyed it. I think it had a lot. It came shortly after the Mark Waid run, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there was a couple of you had the Dwayne McDuffie run after
which was
that.
really short, but this was kind of
really
the
underrated.
They made a big splash about these creators, and it was kind of the first time that they had really highlighted the new team coming to Fantastic Four since Mark Waid had left. And I think it had a lot of comparisons because of that, because Waid's run is quite highly regarded, and so I don't know. There's some pretty big spoilers in here that we can't talk about, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was interesting. Some of it made me cry a little bit.
Yeah,
really?
Me too. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Wow.
Traditionalists sometimes get upset if you start to veer in a different direction a bit. Like there are traditionalists didn't like Grant Morrison's run on Batman. And I'm like, well, but if you like the traditional stuff, just wait a moment. It'll reassert itself, very shortly. Exactly. So something like this, I greatly enjoyed it. If it rubs your nose the wrong way, you've got plenty of traditional Fantastic Four to.
This This is the 2009 Fantastic Force, to answer this question.
Yeah.
This
I
is
like
the-
that it upset two different groups of people, so that
Yes.
means I want it.
Yes, it did. I mean, at the time, it felt like it genuinely did upset two different groups of people. Whereas I just read and thought this is really good.
That is a good sign. Anything that upsets people, I want.
Well, Jess, you definitely want this one because I was not a fan of this run.
Of course, you are a professional hater of everything. So it's okay.
No, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. Now, I'm also not the biggest fan of Mark Miller. Like, that
Right.
kind of goes hand in hand. I like the artwork. I like the creation. What was it they created in this New World, which, of course, Hickman used later on in his run. It did have some nice artwork. I don't even think Mark Miller got to finish the run, though, right? Didn't he leave the book and somebody else came in and finish it?
I'm a little hazy on that detail.
Well, Joe Ahern is credited as the writer. I know he didn't write Fantastic Force, so I'm not sure if that's the same writer that did it. 1985, though, I thought was pretty fun. Very like no one talks about that miniseries.
Yeah, wouldn't you agree that like Brian Hitch's art is always gorgeous?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially during this time, he has that cinematic look to his art.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I like that
another book you can hate.
Oh, shut up. Volume 1. People have asked me for a couple of years now if there's ever a chance of getting a volume 2 of this run. This, of course, being the Brian Michael Bendis run of Guardians of the Galaxy. If you've read the modern cosmic saga with Annihilation, Conquest, War of the Kings, this is the follow-up to that. This is closer to what the movie characters are like for anybody that is interested in this.
Yeah.
Man, back to back, Bendis and Miller. Guardians of the Galaxy by Brian Michael Bendis, Omnibus Volume 1. So there is hope for a Volume 2. I was really hoping that would add the what was it, the Black Vortex saga in here. Which would have added a lot more pages, but I mean, this collects the Avengers Assemble, which is kind of like the prelude to the Guardians of the Galaxy run, the .1 issue, 1 through 27, annual 1, tomorrow's Avengers, all new X-Men. So it does have that Phoenix crossover, 22 through 24, Guardians of Nowhere miniseries, which was not Was that collected? No, it was in the oversized hardcover. Guardians Team Up 1 and 2, and Free Comic Book Day 2014. No, never mind. Guardians of Nowhere was not in the oversized hardcovers. That's why I got the Omnibus. I love oversized artwork. 1,168 pages, $125. Thoughts, prayers. What did y'all think of this run? You've all read it.
Of course, I liked it.
I enjoyed it. I'm a weird. A lot of people. Some people don't. I really enjoyed this. I love how some of the comments are saying, "Oh, Lars is throwing daggers." Yes, by saying nice things about these comics. I enjoyed this. Yeah.
I also enjoyed this because I like Brian Michael Bendis.
You do. That's cool, man.
Oh!
Well, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion here, but they can no longer be on the show. I'm just kidding, Jed. I'm just kidding.
Now I'm at the bottom where, okay, well, that's all right.
Look, but okay, say what you will about Brian Michael Bendis. This was a top-selling book, okay?
Yeah.
This was a book, I want to say, outsold the Cosmic Saga, like the DNA era of War of the Kings and all that, Nova, Guardians of the Galaxy, because I think they wanted somebody that could get people to read the book that wasn't bogged down by years of history that came before.
Yes.
I think Bendis is really good at doing that. He did the same thing with Avengers. He did the same thing with Ultimate Spider-Man. And oh my gosh, the artwork in here. Nick Bradshaw, Mark Bagley did the 8-issue miniseries, Steve McNiven, Sarah Pichelli. There's somebody in here, Kevin McGuire. I will say this about Brian Michael Bendis. I remember when Kevin McGuire went to social media and said DC canceled his book because his art had changed after he had broken his hand. And they were like, kind of fired him. So Brian Michael Bendis was like, hey, I love your stuff, man. Justice League International. You come over and work with me on Guardians of the Galaxy. Class act. Damn. That's awesome. Like, so I think he only did a couple of issues there, and then there's also wasn't Francisco? Yeah, Francisco Francavilla is there. So there you go. Now, did I like the run? No, it was nothing like my Guardians of the Galaxy.
You can't hate this.
But plenty of people do. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. Go ahead.
Okay.
Quick, I mean, you make a good point, though, because like I didn't have a lot invested in Guardians of the Galaxy. I was aware of them. I'd seen them in like the George Perez Avengers and so on. But I was kind of agnostic about them. And so this was a fresh approach. I was like, oh, this is really good. But
I think it's a good place for beginners.
Certainly people who are familiar with the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think that was the whole point of that series was, hey, there's a movie, let's get characters to look like the movie, act like the movie. Let's rewrite the history of Star-Lord so he doesn't have like robotic eye and he's just a dude that's kind of like a human being. Yes, Thunderbolts, Volume 3. Now, this collects Thunderbolts 64 to 75, 100 to 109. Avengers Thunderbolts 1 through 6, New Thunderbolts 1 through 18. Thunderbolts presents Zemo Born Better. Now, one thing I did was I did a poll on YouTube. I just kept it to YouTube because I didn't want social media to get in there. And I asked if people wanted to see the fight bolts in here.
Oh, yeah.
Is that 65 to 99? Is that what that is?
That would be, I think it went 76 to
76, I mean, 76.
76 to 81 is what that is.
Okay.
So, people
people
made some good arguments for it, for against it. Me, myself, I was just curious what people wanted to see. As a completist, of course, I want it in there. Does it need to be in there? Absolutely not. John Arcudi did something completely different than what Fabian Nicieza and Kurt Busiek were doing on the book. And, people were like, well, you could take like New Thunderbolts and make that the missing gap there between 75 and 100 and throw in Avengers Thunderbolts. But I wanted to see, and most people said yes. And then the ones that were saying yes were like, maybe keep it at the end of the book. That way the story is not, you're not interfering with the flow of the story. So,
but the story is kind of isn't it a fresh start kind of after that? Like it's not like it.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, the people call it Fight Club, right? Like the Fight Club era. That's what it was really like. But this one here is $125, 1,216 pages. I love me some Thunderbolts. Oh my gosh. Moon Knight. Oh, this was my Moon Knight. This is the Marcus Spectre Moon Knight era.
Nice.
So this is Omnibus Volume 1. You have Chuck Dixon, Howard Mackey, J.M. DeMatteis, Al Milgrom, Bruce Jones, Mike Barron. But Chuck Dixon is the one that started it off with Mark Spector Moon Knight. He collected in here as issues 1 through 34. The Round Robin. This is the first time we've had the Round Robin Sidekicks Revenge in oversized format. Divided We Fall, and then material from Punisher Annual number 2. 1,064 pages, $125. This was my mother's Moon Knight. How old is it? Michael Edmund. Oh, what's up, Sugar Man? It's been a bit, man. How have you been, brother? But yeah, I'm excited for this one. Oh,
I haven't read this, so I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, this was the 90s era. So pretty much everything Moon Knight has been collected with those first 2 volumes and this. And now we need a volume 2 of this, and then that will take us to the Charlie Houston stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Hulk by Peter David Omnibus Volume 5.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a lot of good books in this. Okay. So this is Incredible Hulk, of course, all by Peter David. My favorite thing that is in here is Hulk the End. That was drawn by Del Keown. I think to me, he was probably my favorite Hulk artist growing up. Of course, he left Marvel to go and do Pitt at Image. And that's one thing that's missing from here, but I didn't think that was going to be collected just because of copyrights. But also, what if General Ross had become the Hulk? That was before Red Hulk. Incredible Hulk 77 through 87. Destruction. That's never been collected. 1 through 4. The Fing Fang Foom one-shot. Marvel Adventures Hulk 13 through 16. Last Call, which is awesome, by the way, if you've not read that one. That is a really good one-shot. Symbiote Spider-Man Crossroads. that gives me hope that whole series is going to be collected in an oversized format one day. I know, people are hit and miss with Greg Land, but I think he does a really good job on the Symbiote Spider-Man series. New Fantastic Four, which I don't think issue 1 is even out. Is that right, Lars? I think you keep up with single issues.
Issue 4 of what? Maestro?
New Fantastic Four.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Okay. I know maybe issue 2 was the one that was delayed.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, all 5 issues of that are going to be in here. Material from Giant Size Hulk 1, the World War Hulk prologue, World Breaker, Monster Size Special, and Breaking into Comics the Marvel Way. Wow.
That is a lot of material.
Yeah. And when I announced this, I knew the question was, where's all the Maestro stuff? And then I announced the Maestro Omnibus. So
I think that omnis like this are great when it's not just like a large block of material, but like it's almost an archival summation coming together of like everything this person has done on this character, this concept. So
yes,
I am thrilled to see this. Yeah,
me too. I really thought it would be a companion, but I like the idea of a volume 5. Yeah. That reassures me that now they have faith in their property to say we don't need to have a standalone omnibus anymore. It could be a volume 5 and people will still purchase it.
These seem to have been selling pretty well. They reprinted 1 and 2, which I think is a sign that they're selling pretty well.
Mm-hmm. So issue number 1 of the New Fantastic Four just came out. I love the Fantastic Four is in New Fantastic Four is in this. Yeah. Right. Anytime. I love that ridiculous team. Like, it's so awesome.
Yeah, totally.
Hey, Neon, hope you're having a good day too. And hopefully we will get a Peter David's Captain Marvel omnibus at some time. Yes.
I would be ecstatic.
That would make me happy.
Yes.
Moon Knight, looking forward to a Warren Ellis run in an Omni. I think his run was only 5 issues, though. I think it would be
like 6 or 8. No, or 6.
I think it was excuse me, 6.
6. Okay.
And then it went to Wood, and then it went to Byrne, right?
Mm-hmm. So it would be like Ellis, Bunn, Wood.
That'd be a good omnibus.
Is that enough, or would they have to?
Or a hardcover? It's probably you're right. It's probably more an oversized hardcover, but that would be great because I think all those trades are out of print.
They are. All they would honestly have to throw in there is the Lemire, throw Bendis in there, and then the Bemis stuff, right? And then you got yourself a big book.
Yeah.
So I really thought it only went 5 issues, but
okay, it might have.
Maybe you're right. Maybe right.
No. People are saying 12 issues. Oh no, Michael Emmons said 5 or 6 issues. Scott's saying it was 12 issues.
No, good. Nobody can agree. Excellent.
Ellis did not write 12 issues.
No, he did. Moving on.
Okay, Nova, Richard Rider Omnibus. So 2 things. When I got to announce this, I said this was one of my most wanted books.
Yeah,
and I was thinking that Marvel would release something like a Nova Sam Alexander series, which is cool because if you see the title, this is Nova Richard Rider. So there is a chance that there will be a Nova Sam Alexander omnibus. Because, that's the one that I think they're probably going to use for the movie, the Sam Alexander character with Richard Rider maybe as his Mr. Miyagi type of character. We don't laugh at Richard Rider, okay? We're out of middle school, Dorkside Studios. That joke's been done.
What the heck's wrong with Richard Rider?
Who said that? Who asked that question?
What? Well, I was asking, what's wrong with Richard Rider? I don't get it. Yeah.
No, I'm not explaining it to Lars. I'll leave it to Kurtis.
What's Richard's? What's a short form of Richard's name?
No, I understand that.
Oh, okay.
I thought there was something offensive about the character itself, and I didn't. Okay. Now, what bit of Marvel comic do you not see in there? And that,
I mean,
and that is the issues of ROM that,
right?
Huh? Yeah, that kind of served as an epilogue to the classic Nova series, because I remember being around at the time, and I'm hard to believe, but I'm actually a bit too young to have read Nova. But I was around when those ROM issues came out, and I was like, and it kind of was like meant to be an end note for the character of sorts. So, but yeah, no ROM issues in here.
Yeah, so I think it's only 1 issue. It was issue 24, but again, I'm just glad we're getting it. It's the Mark Wolfman series, issues 1 through 25, Amazing Spider-Man 171, Defender 62 to 64, Fantastic Four 204 to 206, almost all the way to 214. That's a lot of FF. Annual number 12 and Marvel 2 and 191, Annual 3, and The Thing 34. Material from What If 36. So I'm excited for this one.
Sure.
This is
this will be
collected
good.
in classics, not epic format.
This will be a very good 2-volume epic series.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at you mapping out your epic already. What if they get the rights back to ROM and like the epics are the only way to get that ROM issue? Kurtis will be sitting on his throne by then.
They would reprint that with a expanded omnibus, whatever.
Oh yeah, they could
figure out a way.
They figure out a way. $100, 880 pages.
Yeah.
Hickvengers Volume 2. Now you're seeing it for the first time on the solicits. You saw it in the catalog. It was originally supposed to come out, I think, it was supposed to be July or something of this year. But because of delays, we don't even have Volume 1 yet. Volume 1, I think, has been pushed all the way to December of this year. But now it's looking like February of 2023. That's when the new printing is coming out.
That is a great series.
Mm-hmm.
Great series. Favorite Avengers series of all time. Of mine.
Really?
Yes.
Quickly, just why?
It's the only Avengers I've ever read. No, I'm I think it's the most I'm not a huge Avengers fan. But I mean I like New Avengers. But it's so complex and interesting. It's interestingly written. I think that he spends enough time on each character, even though there's a lot of characters involved and they're headed towards, something really big happening. The tension just builds in it, and I think it's just structured and flows really well. I will say it's not a book you can get halfway through and then take a break for a week.
Okay.
It's something you have to pay attention to all the way through, or you will get lost. In my opinion, I stopped about a quarter of the way through, took a break, and I had to start all over because it's pretty intricately weaved together, but I think it's brilliantly written. And it leads to a huge event that I actually liked. I genuinely dislike all events, but I loved Secret Wars, this Secret Wars that it led to, and it was one of my all-time favorite events.
Learning a lot about Jess here. There was a
well, Lars asked me.
No. I remember we reviewed this on Old Reader, New Reader, and I remember you really liking it. And you and I had the same problem when we were like, I'm not going to spoil, but there was a time skip here.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if that was real or one of those alternate time skips that they were going to fix everything. And then all of a sudden, one of the characters has a baby with another character. And I was like, when did that happen? And people were like, oh, you need to read Avengers World. No. In the story.
I hate it when they do that. Or explain what's going on. I mean, if you give the proper context, and Marvel, comic book publishers used to be very good at this. They would explain to you what you needed to know as you were going along, and then they stopped doing that. It's like, oh, you read Avengers World, right? It's like, no, I didn't.
This is the wrong cover for the DM, by the way.
Okay.
That was the cover that they used for Avengers. I think it was Avengers Volume 4 for the standard edition. My announcement has the right cover because they actually sent me that cover when I was making the announcement too, and I emailed the collected editions team, and they were like, whoops, we sent you the wrong cover. So here's the right cover. So I think it's Arthur Adams that does the DM cover.
Okay.
Let me see if it states here. Covers by Azad Rebic. Yeah. So I'll get them. I'll tell them to fix. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of Omnis.
Yeah.
I know one that people have been waiting on for so long. It made me so happy to get to finally announce this one. Spider-Man versus Venom Omnibus. This is the only place that you're going to find Maximum Carnage in oversized format. See, Kurtis, I fixed it. I said in oversized format because I know you were going to say, what about the epic? I don't want to hear it. But yeah, this is the early appearances of Venom. And also, this is not collected in the Venom Omnibus Volume 1.
Right.
So this is more, I'm honestly surprised they didn't take the time to make this a Venom Omnibus Volume 0 and sell it that way. But then again, I don't know if these will be, I don't think Maximum Carnage will be collected in a David Michelinie and Mark Bagley omnibus. I think all those issues will be skipped. Kind of like the way that X-Men treats Extinction Agenda or Executioner Song. Books like that, they tend to skip the events and make it their own book. So for people thinking, well, I'll just wait on the David Michelinie, Mark Bagley omnibus, I don't think that will happen. I think that this is the only place where you're going to find Maximum Carnage. But yeah, if you're interested in Venom, this has a lot of Venom. This has pretty much all the early Venom appearances. Kurtis, if you're looking at that, is that the way the Epic is mapped? The Epic Volume 1, doesn't it have Spirits of Vengeance?
That's in Volume 2, but yeah, the volume Venom Volume 1, 2, and 3 are all going to be this content.
Mm-hmm. So the question is, does this double dip? Absolutely. So 300 double dips. These right here, 300 to 317. That double dips with the David Michelinie McFarlane Omnibus, 332 and 333 and 346 through 347. That's the Eric Larson Omnibus. This has never been collected in omnibus format. It has been collected in Epic Collection. And this is all part of the Maximum Carnage story arc. This is Carnage's first appearance. And then we have the Vault Darkhawk. Yes. One day. Omar, use your powers to make them fix the colors on the standard cover like they did with Mutant Massacre. The original. Oh, yeah. The original has the pink. Doesn't it have the pink back? My powers. What kind of powers do you think I have? What's up, Diamond? I can't get a New Warriors Omnibus Volume 3 yet. I can't even have a Volume 2 in my hand yet. It's been delayed. Trials of X Volume 2. This is the resolicited Reign of X Volume 18, I think is what this one was supposed to be. But it's been resolicited as Trials of X. So if you're getting the anthology, they are rebranding it to Trials of X. And people have asked me, how long is that going to last? Because the Trial of Magneto is only 5 issues. I don't know yet. I don't know if it's only going to be 2 volumes, because the next era is the Destiny of X era. But this collects Cable Reloaded, X-Men Trial of Magneto 3 through 5. Oh, yeah, so it would be 2 issues. And Wolverine 14. Al Ewing and Leah Williams. Benjamin Percy. The Art of the Eternals movie, if you're into those books. And Marvel Masterworks, The Invincible Iron Man, Volume 16. Classic cover. Collecting Iron Man 158 to 170. Annual 5 and material for Marvel Fanfare 4. Dennis O'Neil. This is Dennis O'Neil, Peter Gillis, Ralph Macchio, David Michelinie. It's a great era of Iron Man. Were y'all fans of this era?
Yeah, this is good stuff. It's mostly Dennis O'Neil and Luke McDonald. They do the bulk of the work there, and they do a good job. Yeah, this was interesting because I have an interview with Dennis O'Neil where he was talking about this. It's like, yeah, he thought that the Demon in the Bottle story just resolved itself too quickly, like it was too short, and so he said, I want to bring Tony Stark back to that idea of being alcoholic, but actually deal with more like the long-standing ramifications and whatnot. So that kind of is the underlying
that
theme.
Sounds interesting to me.
Yeah, and that's what led to Rhodes becoming Iron Man, because Tony literally was too drunk to do it.
I haven't read this, but that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
No Unstoppable Bar. I'm not bored. I was listening to Kurtis. Chris, I didn't fall asleep. Kurtis was telling me about Denny O'Neil's Iron Man. What's wrong with you people? I'm listening to the man.
Yeah. I know this is heresy. I find this era a bit overrated in the sense that the idea of dealing with Tony Stark's alcoholism, I mean, that's a very interesting idea. And I can't immediately think of anything in the mainstream publishers up to that point that, was like that. But the way in which they can deal with it, given the social norms of the times, it doesn't land the wall for me like it does. Because like you say, Demon in the Bottle, it kind of is, oh, he's got a drinking problem. Oh, he's dealing with his drinking problem. It's like, okay. Yeah.
You didn't like the idea of them going back to that.
No, I'm just saying that I think it was not an age where they could do the topic the justice it would have required.
Mm.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, they're still writing for a younger audience, and
they're writing for the grocery store rack, the all ages grocery store racks, and like trying to deal with someone's alcoholism. There's just limits on what you can do, and because of those limits, it can come off as kind of goofy at parts where it's not really meant to. I admire the effort. Don't get me wrong. I admire the effort. And I think in a way it was ahead of its time. If it had been done later, they could have done the topic more justice.
Well, as the resident alcoholic in this group, who's been in recovery for 14 years,
hey, congratulations!
Thank you. I am very interested in how writers handle the topic, and so that's why I'm so interested in what Kurtis was saying. So I definitely want to get this. I have yet to see it handled anywhere close to proper, except for maybe Ed Brubaker's My Heroes Have Always Been Junkies. But I want to see. I'd like to see exactly how it's tackled in this, and that's interesting. What Lars has to say about how it's written for the grocery store audience. I get exactly what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're probably right in your assessment there, Lars. Yeah, you can find it. It's collected in the Epic Collections. If you have the one called The Enemy Within and By Force of Arms, that story is kind of told in those volumes.
Yeah, I'm not actually dumping on it wholesale. I mean, a lot of people like it, and in the Masterworks format, it's going to look gorgeous. So, no, absolutely enjoy, but just be mindful of when it was written.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that we haven't had an Omni of that era. Like we had the Bob Layton, David Michelinie one, and I really thought by now we'd have a follow-up to that. And that's why I have The Enemy Within. That was mine and a lot of people's first Epic collection, because that was the first Epic collection they released. And I want to say that was, to me, my placeholder until an Omnibus came in. We never got one. Immortal X-Men by Kieran Gillen. So I read issue number 1 just because I could not wait. And it's just so good to have him back writing X-Men again. One of the most underrated writers on X-Men, right up there with Mike Carey. I thought they never got the love that they deserved. I think they were overshadowed by X-Men, well, not selling well at the time, probably, or other writers that were writing books like, Matt Fraction, for some reason, sold better than Mike Carey's run on X-Men Legacy. And then Uncanny X-Men, I think it was just overshadowed by like Wolverine and the X-Men, that type of era. But yeah, this was so good to see him back.
Yeah, I am caught up on this one. I really enjoyed this series. I think it's a knockout. But I will be holding out for a hardcover. But yeah, it's great.
By the way, this is a big shout out to Keenan. Keenan is the gentleman that put the intro together for my videos. And he's also saying, I checked that announcement video for Hick Vendors 2. You said the DM is to be determined. Okay. So I need to get with them before this goes anywhere, because they had already used that. And they told me, I thought it was the Arthur Adams. Maybe that's volume 1. Thank you for that, man. So yeah, collecting Immortal X-Men 1 through 5. And Moon Knight is getting his own Black, White, and Blood. This is the Treasury Edition. These are oversized, beautiful books. Soft covers. The gallery editions are the hard covers.
And again, 1 to 4, I don't think all these are out. Maybe.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
But
what's the concept here with Black, White, and Blood? Is it just stories in black, white, and red?
Yeah. So they're all standalone stories written by different creators, drawn by different artists. Each issue has it's in like an anthology. Each issue has 4 different stories. They're not connected. They're in different times of these characters' lives. The Wolverine one is awesome. Carnage one was a lot of fun. The Wolverine one, of course, was awesome. But I'm excited to read this one. I know Elektra has one too.
Yeah, it's basically Batman Black and White, but for Moon Knight.
And have you read the Deadpool one? Isn't Deadpool, does he have black, white, and blood also?
Yes, there is a Deadpool white. Look at you, man. Yeah, black, white, and blood.
I haven't read any of them, but I'm trying to get up to speed on them.
Yes.
I love Deadpool. I love Moon Knight. I love the concept. So I'd like to get these.
Now, most of the ones like Wolverine and Deadpool I don't know about Electro because I don't have that one yet, has a parental advisory on it because they're a little more violent because there's blood. Spoilers. Hence,
how dare you?
I don't want them. Forget
I didn't want anybody to think that it was like, oh, I got a nosebleed. It's horrible. No, there's blood because people are getting hacked up. And Art Adams is the DM variant for Volume 1. Thank you. So I have to find out what Volume 2 DM variant is.
Ooh.
And Miss Marvel. I'm so happy this character is continuing, even though they're in miniseries. This is the Jodie Hauser series. I miss G. Willow Wilson writing this character because I've been having a lot of fun watching the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
I also have loved it.
Yeah, it's very wholesome. I enjoy it.
I've only had time to see episode 1 because there is just such a blitzkrieg of television coming out right now.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with everything.
Right.
Are we having a discussion in the chat who came up with it first? DC or Marvel? I'm gonna hate to break it to you guys, but manga has been doing black and white for years, so either really Marvel or DC. Or are we talking about the little parts of
There's a Canadian comic strip. There's a Canadian comic strip in the 1950s called Doug Wright's Family by a guy named Doug Wright, and it was all black and white except he used splashes of red in there as well.
Well, it looks like the Canadians got one up on us. Way to go!
Go Canada!
Yeah,
where
man.
is that? Where is Canada?
It's a secret. We're not telling you.
Nah, I figured.
Where is?
I think it's one of the Nordic countries. It's off near Sweden somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, Omar. Where's the new X-Men reprint? You said it was March in your announcement. Now, keep in mind these are solicits, so it can be in the next month's solicits and still come out in March. If you look at some of these are coming out in November of this year still. But usually with big books, they like to give it a few months in between. So the next solicits, you'll have books for March and April. So maybe it'll be in there. Let's just hope no more delays. Dynamite also uses the black, white, and red gimmick. I don't know. Apparently Canada created it.
Yeah, and Grendel did it. Yeah.
Omar, are there any plans for more Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, and Omnis or thick trades? I haven't seen. That's why I'm hoping that she gets another series. But this is Spider-Man by Wells. This is another series. I've not read a single issue, and I have to go and read because my subscribers are driving me crazy trying to spoil things for me. Because they're like, have you read the free comic book day? And I'm like, no, because I didn't go out this year. But they were telling me like, oh, you got to read it, man. You're an X-Men fan. It's going to lead up to that. I don't know what that means. So I'm like, okay, I have to read it. I think volume 1 comes out sometime soon. I think the next month or August. But anyway, this is volume 2. This is the new Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr. I had no idea Ed McGuinness was drawing it.
I haven't read this, but I love this description with the sinister adaptoid. I think that's a great idea. Taking that old classic character and giving it
making it just the Sinister Six.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, only 3 issues of Amazing Spider-Man in volume 2. Oh, 6, 7, and 8. Yes, but how is it 136 pages? Is one of those like supersized?
Well, yeah, maybe. If it's the 60th anniversary, they might have done that. This
is the new series by Torunn Grønbekk. She did an awesome job with the last few issues of Valkyrie, which is another series that I didn't think anybody was reading, but they should have been because it was really good. Co-written by Al Ewing. This is the Jane Foster and the Mighty Thor. So this apparently is also a really good series for those that enjoyed the Valkyrie series. And this collects the first 5 issues. Can we get a Black Hammer reading order, my man? Yes, of course.
Sure, I'll do that on my channel,
You wanna do
Omnidog's
that on your
Vault.
channel?
Yeah, thank you.
Don't
I
forget to
appreciate that,
follow
Josh.
Omnidog's Vault.
Send me that $2 too, please.
I'll mail it to you after YouTube discounts it, and I'll give you $1.05. Amazon. Okay, Amazing Spider-Man, not Amazon. Amazing Spider-Man 6 is Legacy, so 900. 900th issue, it will be oversized. Thank you all so much. Yep. Thank you all. Thank you all. And yes, I was waiting for more of the world of Black Hammer. This is what the cover looks like.
Nice
I
cover.
won't make you wait.
Okay. He won't make you wait. Punisher. I got to interview Garth Ennis, and I was so happy to find out he's going to go do another Punisher miniseries. So excited about that. But this is the Jason Aaron series, issues 1 through 6, artwork by Jesus Zais and Paul Azaqueta. Now, is this the one where I assume this is the one where he gets his new logo? Right?
Maybe.
Just because it looks like his logo got torn here. And he gets his new logo because it's part of the story, right? Like part of the Hand story arc.
Oh yeah, that's what it says. It's the Hand in the description here.
My devotion to Punisher is not great. But I certainly understand Marvel's dilemma that the logo is being co-opted by the sort of people you don't want it being co-opted by. So
I went to a drink and draw at Heroes Con, and I had a really good time. But my wife left me alone with Carl Potts for like an hour because that man just loves to talk. And we talked about just his history, and he's writing a new Kickstarter book. But he brought up the Punisher and what his thoughts were. And we had a really good conversation about what's going on. And then who else was it that was talking to me about it? Oh, Garth Ennis. Before we went live, we talked a little bit about that. Pretty interesting, like from the creator's perspective on the whole logo thing. Wolverine by Benjamin Percy, Volume 4. More Adam Kubert. This is where you're going to find Adam Kubert. Well, you have the Weapon X folks here. You have Maverick and Deadpool. I hear that. Okay, so Wolverine started strong for me, and then it kind of Wolverine on a surfboard, adamantium surfboard.
What?
I don't even know how to describe that. And then it went back up. I'm like, okay, this is cool. I like that. I didn't like the portrayal of some characters in X-Force or in Wolverine. But my viewers keep telling me that it keeps getting better and better. Like it goes down, but it comes back up.
It sounds like Fonzie jumping the shark.
Thank you, Jess, for putting 2 and 2 together. But I wasn't kidding about the adamantium surfboard. Inferno, collecting issues of Inferno's 1 through 4. So this is the trade paperback edition. Same thing that came out in the oversized hardcover. So if you're a fan of House and Powers of X, this is the book that you've been waiting for.
Yep.
Marauders. This is the new series by Steve Orlando.
This has been good.
You've been reading it?
I have. I'm caught up to date, and it's very good.
Yeah. Yes. The surfboard rules. People are just cowards. Not Wolverine. Not Wolverine. He's great.
I think but Marauders is the X title that there's more of a sense of fun about it. Because I mean there's still fights to the death and things like that, but it's swashbuckling and it's just kind of nice. And they are just a bunch of weirdos who go out and have a good time.
So who's on the team now? I see Bishop, Deakin.
Bishop, Tempo, Dakin, Aurora.
Okay.
Lockheed.
Who's this guy with the moon?
Again, he's either a new one or one that I keep forgetting his name. It's awful.
Okay. I haven't read it yet. Does it say here?
I've enjoyed it, and it's raised certain questions about the X-Men's relationship with the Shi'ar, which is kind of fun. Because it's always been a little weird in X-Men that you have that they are affiliated with this giant spacefaring empire. But I think they found an interesting angle there.
I kept my lips shut. Why are you highlighting that?
Wait a minute. His name is Dakin? I thought his name was Deakin. God bless these people.
I think it's Dakin.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm going to leave it to Kurtis to figure that one out. Yeah, Steve Orlando is very hit and miss. Okay, this apparently this character was introduced in Marvel Pride.
Yeah.
Okay, so he is a newer character.
This one, I'm waiting for this series to finish, and then I'm going to read it all in one go. I started reissue 1. I'm like, I think I might want to read this just in one block. But
Did you just
what?
Larry Hama on Wolverine?
No, I was saying I might enjoy it more read all in one go. No, it's very good, and I just thought I'd rather read it in a block rather than month to month.
So the character's name is Somnus. He's from Pride.
Somnus. Okay. Thank you.
Are we back in Madripoor just based on the cover here? It looks like
yeah. It's one of those.
There. Archie, go ahead.
It's one of those retro series, like Peter David's Spider-Man series.
So wait a minute. It's like they expanded his X-Men legacy and just made a Wolverine patch because.
Yes.
Right. This is
basically, yes.
Isn't that the point of? Did you call him Waiter Wolverine, Chris?
Waiter Wolverine.
True. Yeah.
First of all, that's sharp. He's styling.
Yeah.
Knights of X, which this is what Excalibur became. They graduated to knighthood. So this is Knights of X numbers 1 through 5. Oh boy, Shatterstar, Gambit. What is Rachel going as these days? Not Prodigy.
She was Prestige for a while, and I don't know if she's using that anymore.
Thank you. That was it.
This is and I read this too. This is it's good. It's enjoyable. It's not the top of my pile for me, but yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Is this an ongoing series or is it just a mini-series?
I mean, I think it's ongoing because I don't think they've said it's going to be a mini-series. It struggles a little bit to constantly adapt the X-Men format to Otherworld, which is kind of not an X-Men concept. And probably should be left to like Captain Britain and the rest. But no, it's enjoyable. Yeah.
I like when they throw it in there. I mean, that was the beauty of Excalibur, the original Excalibur. I'm sorry. It seems like Teeny Howard really did a lot of that too in the new Excalibur series. Okay. All right. Oh, here we go, Kurtis.
We can skip this next part, right?
Look, JV said finally.
Variant.
I've been waiting 30 minutes for these guys to shut up and talk about epics. So that is not the right picture there.
That's the variant cover right there.
That is not. The return of Tony Stark. Where has he been? What happened to him? Kurtis, tell us about this book. What is this?
This is the Iron Man Epic Collection, Volume 18. We've had a lot of Iron Man collections kind of in sequential order. And this one, though, it skips ahead a little bit. Oh, no, it doesn't. It's still Volume 18. Let me see here. I lost my window here. 290 to 297. So it doesn't actually have a whole lot of Iron Man proper issues in there. A lot of it's the Marvel Superheroes, which was like an anthology series. Iron Man had a lot of stories in there for some reason, and they're loading this volume up with that stuff. But there's also, this one has Iron Manual #1. Did you ever have that? I had that issue. It was like a blueprints and schematics of all of Iron Man's gear.
It reminded me of like the handbook of the X-Men. Like I love those type of books.
Totally, yeah.
I'm glad that they are included in here, and I'm glad we're finally getting more of Len Kaminsky's work in Iron Man in epic format. So what does that leave us, Kurtis? How many more? We have a lot of Iron Man in epic format. How many more volumes are we missing?
We are missing volumes 6 through 8, which is that's through the 70s, and then we're also missing volume 12, which I think is the end of the Denny O'Neil run. We haven't got the last volume of that. And then we're also missing volume 19. And then volume 20 is solicited. Oh, no, it's already out, In the Hands of Evil. That one's already out. And then we'll have a couple of volumes after that, which will probably collect like maybe all of The Crossing.
I'm sorry, did you say the greatest crossover?
I did.
Did someone say my name? Yeah,
Crossing.
Crossing is the greatest. Okay, it's not. It's far from the greatest. I don't care. Any chance of a reprint for Spider-Man Epic Collection Volume 2? Great responsibility. Kurtis, was that in our top 20?
I think so. Yeah, and it has been reprinted before, and it's Steve Ditko, so it'll be reprinted again. Spider-Man Volume 1 is getting a new printing. Did it just come out, or is it coming out like next month or something? So I bet we'll see Volume 2.
There is one in July that's coming out. Volume 1's coming out in July. This Iron Man is awesome. Other than 290 and 291, none of this has been collected before. That's why I love these books, too. Epic Collections are great. I give Kurtis a hard time, but I love them. Iron Fist, Epic Collection, The Fury of Iron Fist. This is the first time it's been reprinted, right?
No, this is the second time it's been reprinted.
Okay.
The first time it was reprinted by Quad Graphics, and a lot of people were upset with the quality of it, and so that's probably what is instigating this reprint, because I don't know why they would reprint, honestly, another Iron Fist Epic Collection. He's not in the spotlight anymore, so it's kind of an odd.
No, but it's Claremont and Byrne, and they have to keep it around, for trademark reasons. Probably doesn't hurt. It may justify selling. Yeah. Or, sorry, sales may justify a reprint. That's what I'm trying to say.
I just found out I made a big little mistake. So
big little
mistake. I never bought the John Byrne Omnibus. Like the Marvel John Byrne. Or was it the Chris Claremont? One of those has the entirety of this run in it? In omnibus format? I for some reason, I didn't think about getting it, and I should have. I don't know if that's true. All 15 issues?
Well, not all of them are written by Chris Claremont.
Well, and I know they're not all drawn by John Byrne either, but I wonder how much of it will be in there. This has the first appearance of Sabretooth. And keep in mind, look, this is 528 pages and $49.99. So that is more than it's been. I think the second printing was still at the 39 mark, Kurtis.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah.
And the first was 34, because I still have the first somewhere.
And it's the starting point of the character, and those always attract some interest. Frankly, I would think we'd be getting an X-Men Volume 1 epic collection, reprint one of these days.
Okay. It was in the Marvel Universe by John. Like all of it, Gabriel, just the John Byrne issues? Just the Iron Fist issues. Okay.
Yeah, what's interesting about the Iron Fist John Byrne issues is that the X-Men are guest stars in some of those issues, and it was kind of used as his testing ground to see how he would do with X-Men before he jumped on that title.
And it's where Sabretooth debuts, and
Now what's interesting is that, oh gosh, Kurtis, I don't have them in front of me. I know that like Sabretooth's first appearance and the X-Men appearance in Iron Fist are not included in the omnibus editions. They are in the box set hardcovers.
Right.
Are they in the Epic collections? I don't. I gave mine away, so I can't tell you.
I don't.
Kurtis, you're here for one reason only.
Hold on, I'll tell you in just a second here.
I got Lars for all the Western stuff in Chinese, and Jess for Legion of Superheroes.
Iron Fist 14 and 15 is in X-Men Epic Collection Volume 5, Second Genesis.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yep.
Star Wars Legends Epic Collection, The Rebellion, Volume 5. So this is more of the Dark Horse era, and written by Terry Austin. He had a really good run on Cloak and Dagger. Archie Goodwin, Judd Winnick. Dang, there's some good writers in this one. Pencil by Chris Sprouse and Marco Castillo. Paul Chadwick. Concrete. Have any of you read this particular era of Star Wars?
I've read some of this. I mean, it has the Empire Strikes Back newspaper story, the newspaper strip story that was written by Archie Goodwin and Al Williamson. I've definitely read that, and I like the Tag and Bink Are Dead miniseries, so I've read that one as well. Mm-hmm. This spans a huge era, because the classic Star Wars Empire Strikes Back #1 and 2 is stuff from the 80s, and then we have stuff that's way more current, including this nice cover from Adam Hughes.
It's interesting that they put it in Volume 5. So will there be a Volume 6 of the Rebellion, or is this it? Well, I don't know if you've mapped these out or not.
Yeah, I don't know if they're doing Empire Strikes Back. That's if the adaptation is in here, then I don't know if we're getting another one, because that would move on to different era, right? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. All right, Kurtis, I got this one.
Okay.
Even though I was not invited. No, you and Lars talk about this. You guys had a podcast without me. Freaking name that Jess knighted me, the Uncanny Omar, and I don't get invited to an X-Men podcast.
It's outrageous.
And Omar, there were 2 other blokes there too. I mean,
Oh yeah, what were their names?
Just me. It was 2 other guys. Yeah.
Uncanny Javier. You had to go with a wish list, Omar.
Wish list. Omar.
I mean, whatever that's called. All right, go ahead, Kurtis. Lars, talk about that. What are we looking at here? Executioner song. X-Men.
You need a moment.
I'm just enjoying how much Jess loved that comment.
Uncanny Javier.
Okay.
Really, like, writing out what
This is the X-Men Epic Collection Volume 21, Executioner's Song. We keep finding out that the X-Men Epic Collections are going to go further and further into the 90s. This one is almost a complete reprint of X-Force Epic Collection Volume 2, which is also called the Executioner's Song because they both collect that series in full. However, this one has extra issues of Uncanny X-Men and X-Men. And in fact, there are issues that they aren't reprinted in paperback, as far as I know, other than this collection right here. So if you don't have any of the Omnis, this is the only place you can get those few issues that are leading up to the Executioner Song.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. Heavy double dipping going on, but you can understand why they did it this way.
I mean, well, in case, yeah, because not everybody gets X-Force, right? Even though us X-heads love everything.
Yeah. Well, and it's equally important. Like the storyline is very important to X-Men and it's very important to X-Force. So if you're just buying one of those lines, you're going to want to have that full story. X-Factor doesn't matter. In fact, there are issues of X-Factor in this book that don't even feature X-Factor characters.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, is it an X-Men story or an X-Force story? It's both.
Yeah.
So I think the B stories will be in this. I don't think they're going to leave it out because this is Uncanny and adjectiveless X-Men. And the B stories and those issues are the Maverick stories with Mark Teixeira. And it's got what's-his-face back from a random issue of X-Men. Warhawk, I think was the character's name.
They'll keep them in because that's one of the Epic Collection's mandates is to reprint the issues in full.
Yeah. Those will definitely be in there. I remember the editor at the time didn't even know who the character was. He was like, last seen in X-Men, ? Well, that's how obscure the character was that showed up in those backup stories. But this is the last of the Jim Lee rolling into the new era. So post Image, like the Image walkout.
That's right. And I have an interview with Fabian Nicieza where he talks about this story a little bit. It's like it was planned by the Image guys.
Oh yeah.
But then they walked out and no real notes or anything was given. So but it was already on the schedule with all the crossovers and such. So they kind of had to scramble to make a story at the last minute.
This, I mean, this was originally called Sins of the Father. They advertised it as Sins of the Father in the letter pages. And then when the Image people walked out, this actually became the Fabian Nicieza event. Because it was really him, like guiding everybody. Okay, we know this is okay. I'm not gonna spoil it. We know what the character of Cable, who he's supposed to be. It was written out, so let's just go ahead and answer that question. $49.99, 520 pages. Araña, Night of the Hunter. This is the graphic novel trade paperback, smaller scale books, collecting Araña. I actually liked Araña because that was a character that was drawn by Mark Brooks. That's like some of the early Mark Brooks artwork I saw. Roger Cruz doing a lot of this one here, though. This is Araña 7 through 12. Spiderman and Araña the Hunter revealed the material from Captain America 602 to 605. 602 to 605. Is that the Sean McKeever stuff? I can't remember why it's in there.
I have this book. I haven't read it yet. Is that the one that you're referring to?
Yeah. Wait, is that the smaller scale book? Or is that the big one? Yeah.
Smaller.
So this would be like volume 2 of that.
The artwork's really cool in this.
Yeah, most of it is drawn by Mark Brooks. And then I think Roger Cruz had 1 or 2 issues in there.
Yeah, I need to read this.
And one of mine and my daughter's favorite thing that Marvel is releasing is the mighty Marvel Masterworks, Namor the Submariner, or as my daughter likes to call it, the Submariner.
Submariner. Yep.
This is they're coming back. They are not stopping these. So my 50-year-old eyes can't do these. I know. I always say that. I think I give like a warning. By the way, if you have older eyes, these are they're printed in smaller scale. So word bubbles look smaller. I always say that because I myself need readers now. So I get it. I love that people still, yes, Roger Madureira Light Cruz. Namor's better than Aquaman. Wow, shots fired. Where's Theo?
Oh no.
Bart, I took a poll and you are the only one that thought this was a boring catalog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought the very beginning was awesome.
Did you not see all those 7 Omnis we're getting?
I love how people are saying that, but then someone else said, "Oh my god, I have to pre-order like 7 of these." So
yeah.
There's a lot of Omnis in this one. All right, we'll go back to the beginning, but before I do, everybody go and check out Walt's Comic Shop. They're based out of Berlin, Germany. They have great shipping and handling. All books delivered to the EU are €9.90. That's across all EU countries. And I think it's only €4.90 flat rate shipping if you are in Germany. And just go to waltzcomicshop.com, write the code near mint condition at the checkout, and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order. And that's Walt's Comic Shop. Melanie's not here to sing it. So your reliable source for Omnis and premium collected editions in Europe.
Walt's Comic Shop.
Look at Jess writing that. No, we're very well done.
Type in the code Omnidog and he'll say, "Who the hell's that?"
Why are people typing Omnidog? It broke my website. All right. Fantastic Four Omnibus Volume Mark Miller and Hitch. This has the seal of approval by Norwegian Assassin, Omnidog, and I think Kurtis. There you go. So you can blame those guys when you buy this on the blind and be like, wow, those guys lied.
On the other hand, Omar pisses all over it.
Yeah. And the next book.
No, wait. I'd say
hater. He's a hater. Professional hater, man.
Guardians of the Galaxy by Brian Michael Bendis. Also a seal of approval from
right here, buddy.
Assassin, Omnidog, and Kurtis. God, I need to get a somebody has to agree with me. But
no,
that is also coming out.
Why are we not negative enough? Yeah.
That gets my seal of approval. Thunderbolts Omnibus Volume 3. Heck yes. Oh, so good. Fabian Nicieza getting the chance to write Thunderbolts again after people said, get off the book. We're trying new things like Fight Bolts. Oh, this one too. Oh, there's so many good books.
Oh, right, yeah, I want this badly.
Mark Spector. This is the Mark Spector Moon Knight. Hold on a second. I'm going to have to start banning people here.
Timing out.
All right. Mark Spector Moon Knight, collecting the classic run from the 90s. Chuck Dixon is Chuck Dixon wrote most of this, and then when he left the book, it was J.M. DeMatteis that took over the run. This will, of course, lead to a volume 2, which we could have some Stephen Platt on the covers. Hulk by Peter David, Omnibus Volume 5, collecting pretty much all the stuff that he had not, or that was not collected in the first 4 books, but not the Maestro stuff. That stuff will have its own omnibus.
Hey, Omar.
Yes.
Why do you think that they rushed out these Peter David Hulk books so quickly compared to other lines?
He needs the money?
That's a good question, because I've been asked that too. Like, why rush these out? Like, where's Uncanny 5? I mean, we know those books are coming, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other ones.
Fast-tracked these ones for sure.
And I know they're smaller runs, but I'm thinking of, like, they rushed out the Ed Brubaker stuff. They had all 5 of those volumes, and that was in the heyday of that was in the, the days of Omnis where we were only getting 1 or 2 a month. If that. They did the same thing with Bendis and Brubaker's run on Daredevil, but granted, those were only 2 volumes. I don't know. I think they really saw the strong sales on this one, and they were like, let's go ahead and finish it out. Let's not wait it. Maybe they're seeing that if they keep promising people future volumes, people will go back and buy volumes 1 and 2. when
Well,
they're
I think, yeah.
I also think
my thoughts. I don't know.
Go for it, Lars.
well, one wants to read between the lines and think that maybe Peter needs the money, but it could also just be that if they put out these volumes, then the library is complete. And that can boost sales that, it's all out versus my having to wait around, for 6 more years until they can get around to doing it.
Right, but why choose this one to fast track instead of, any other line? Like it's taken so long for.
By what definition are we using fast tracked? I mean,
I think these volumes came out like all 5 within 2 years or something, isn't it?
He makes a fair. I mean, that is a fair argument that these have been fast tracked, more so than.
I think the Maestro has been fast tracked. I think that this one will have come out like about a year after Volume 4, which is not unreasonable. I think like Maestro is maybe fast tracked, but I think again to finish it out, or maybe it is to give Peter money. I mean, I don't know, but I think independent of Peter's finances, doing these makes some sense to me.
Yeah.
I honestly have no inside information as to why, but Kurtis, you bring up a good point, because there for a long time we have like New Avengers by Brian Michael Bendis, Volume 1, just sitting there, and that could have been because of sales. Sales weren't strong to, warrant a Volume 2, or the Guardians of the Galaxy, which they are now reprinting to see how sales are, so we can get a Volume 2 of that. I'm trying to think of what other creator-centric book has been left dead in the water. And honestly, I can just think of those 2 books right off the top of my head, right? Like Daredevil by Bendis, Guardians of the Galaxy by Bendis. Was there any other creator-centric book that they just kind of left? Because Alpha Flight was just Alpha Flight Volume 1. It wasn't Alpha Flight by John Byrne, was it?
No.
Not that there was enough material for Byrne after that.
Wait, maybe it was. Oh, gosh. Yeah.
I think it was just Alpha Flight Volume 1. I could be mistaken.
Okay.
But for a guy that loves Peter David's writing, that makes me really happy.
I think someone's mentioning it still seems like a lot of Peter David Hulk omnibuses in it, not the, but it can help fuel sales that it's like, okay, you bought that one. Here you go. Buy that one. I mean, I think that the people who like Peter David, they'll show up. So they might as well put these out because people will show up for them.
Too soon, Josh. Too soon. It is Alpha Flight by John Byrne. Okay.
Okay. It is John Flight.
Not that they could have done a Volume 2 because he left the book to go do Hulk. Then
Right.
Bill Mantlo took over the book with Mike Mignola.
Right.
I don't know. We still need a Spider-Man by Dan Slott, but honestly, looking
again, that'll be coming.
That it gives. I mean, we are getting Superior Spider-Man, right?
That's the first one, right? For Slott?
That's the first one, which is almost like volume. I had it mapped out at one time. I think it would be like Volume 6. So here's the thing: look, whether you like Hulk, whether you like Peter David or not, doesn't matter. It gives me hope for like Mark Gruenwald's run on Captain America to be sitting on my bookshelf at one time with volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4, or Tom DeFalco's run on Fantastic Four or Thor. All these classic runs that I love of these creators having their names on the spine. And I know it's not, of course, I want Uncanny X-Men 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but whatever, right? Eventually we'll get those gaps filled by these creator-centric type of books. And I'm okay with that as long as it's all still coming. As long as this shows that they're willing to commit to 5 volumes of Peter David, then as long as people are buying them. That's always been the rule, right? As long as people buy them. If they release a Volume 1 of something and it doesn't sell, then that sucks for the people that have been waiting for a Volume 2. Nova, Richard Rider, Omnibus. I can't wait for this one. This is going to be a really hard video to choose what my favorite book is going to be. Hick Vengers Volume 2. But was there enough material for a Volume 2 of that, Kitty Pride? I was thinking of creator-centric books that left enough open for a Volume 2 of Dan Slott's Iron Man. Because I guess they could have put that big event in there. Spider-Man versus Venom Omnibus, the new printing of this book. This does have all of the Maximum Carnage story.
It's the only place you can find it, oversized hardcover, right?
Yeah. Very disappointing lack of female-led books. Well, That really depends on how many books were being printed. Like if you're looking at 70s and 80s, there weren't a lot of female creators back then. There are, don't get me wrong, like Anna Senti or Louise Simonson, but not enough. Oh, I'm sorry, I was assuming you're talking about an omnibus. We are getting some. Like we're getting the Kelly Sue DeConnick Captain Marvel and the Kelly Thompson Captain Marvel. Trials of X Volume 2 and Eternals, The Art of the Movie. Marvel Masterworks Volume 16, The Invincible Iron Man. Immortal X-Men by Kieran Gillen. Have you read this series, Lars? You're the one that keeps up with it monthly.
Again, yeah, I have kept up with it, and it's absolutely terrific. So, I mean, it's also not finished, so maybe I'll be reading issue 5 and going, what the heck is this? But what I've read so far, superb.
And let's see, Moon Knight. This I can't wait for this one. This is the Black, White, and Blood series. Miss Marvel getting another trade paperback. And Amazing Spider-Man by Wells and Romita Jr. Volume 2. And Jane Foster and the Mighty Thor, which I've heard is really good. Is there a Transformer in the background?
Someone's getting their lawn mowed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was
Not me.
You know?
Kurtis must make a lot of money if he's getting his grass mowed.
Kurtis, are your lackeys mowing your lawn?
Oh, the other Canadians?
They are is a leaf blower, I think.
Canada is such a socialist country, we mow each other's lawns.
What?
Oh no, we pay people to do it for us.
Oh, brother, me too, man. The loss of Conan really hurts my wallet loading up with books I buy. First world problems. I feel you. I feel you, man. Punisher Volume 1, The King of Killers, Book 1. That's the new Jason Aaron run. Wolverine by Benjamin Piercy, Volume 4. Inferno, Marauders by Steve Orlando, Volume 1. Wolverine Patch. That's Larry Hama's run on Wolverine. Knights of X. Iron Man. The Return of Tony Stark. Volume 18 of the Epic Collection. And Kurtis, you said there were how many more? 4 more left? Epics? Oh, you're muted. You can keep. You're muted.
There's like 4 more at the end and 4 more in the middle, so there's like 8 more to go.
Iron Fist, a new printing, and Star Wars Legends: The Rebellion, Volume 5. Executioner's Song and the X-Men. I love that they're putting Adjectiveless and Uncanny together in one book. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I like the mapping they're doing in those books, in the epics, more than I did the oversized hardcovers in Omnis.
They are good.
I have a question. Do you
Yes.
I know you do a lot of Map My X videos. This is actually a serious question.
Talk to
for
me.
once.
Okay, for once.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have influenced Marvel at all in your X mapping books, videos?
I like to think it's just pure coincidence that whenever we map Wolverine 3, everything is in their Wolverine Volume 3 except for the Charleston Chew issue, Melloway issue. What else did we mapped another book? Was it Excalibur 2, I think? We missed it by 1 issue. No, I don't think so. I think, honestly, I don't think people have the time to watch shows like that. I mean, if you're working in that industry, you know, I think it's just pure coincidence.
It could just be good. Well, also, hopefully, you know, Omar does it very brilliantly. Hopefully the people at Marvel sit down and do it very sensibly as well.
Oh, yeah.
If the two groups are doing it very sensibly, it's going to come out. Hopefully, it's going to come out pretty much the same.
I really do think they do have discussions like we do, like, you know, arguments like, why does that need to be in there? And I'm like, no, Peter, it needs to be in there because of this. And then Riley throws a bomb in there going, no, it needs to be one 1,600-page magical book. And I'm like, no, like, I take it so serious. I'm like, you're fired.
Well, they're really well done. Even though they're not in my wheelhouse, I think they're really well done, and that they should watch your videos to map them.
Oh no, you do a stunning job.
Thank you.
And that's my only compliment of the day for you.
Thank you. I'll take it.
It's out the window.
You guys can come on and do like Map My Legion with me.
Map My Legion of Superheroes.
Legion of Superheroes, because I know you and Lars are huge fans. Jess has a tattoo of Pharaoh Lad like on his shoulder.
Okay, I am totally doing that now.
I have a tattoo of Shrinking Violet, but it's very, very small.
I'm not even going to ask where that gets
on my calf. Yeah.
Okay. Araña, Night of the Hunter, the graphic novel in Mighty Marvel Masterworks, Namor, the Submariner, Volume 1. All right. Now, here's the big question. Out of this catalog, what is the one book you guys are most excited about? Anybody in the chat right now can answer, in the comment section, answer later. What's the one book, if you had to choose? One book to be excited about in this catalog, what would it be? I'll let, we'll just go down the road here. Lars, what's the book that you're excited for? The one book that you're like, oh, man, it's coming.
The obvious one, Incredible Hulk by Peter David, number 5. Again, I think it's just great to have all those disparate elements collected together in a nice, hardcover. This is why I was so excited about the classic X-Men Omnibus, because it almost became like the archival history of X-Men reprints, as much as just a bunch of classic X-Men material thrown together. So I'm thrilled for this. And I think, people are saying, well, why did they do this to someone else? You can't always judge things on this level. It's perfectly respectable to do Incredible Hulk by Peter David, number 5. I am totally there for that.
Excellent choice. What about you, Kurtis? What's the book? What's the epic collection you're most excited for?
I actually think it's the X-Men epic collection, even though it's a huge double dip. Those extra issues will fill in little gap on my bookshelf of my Uncanny X-Men run. So I think I'm looking forward to that. Those are the books that I'm actually going to buy. But I am also really excited that that Nova is getting an omnibus, and that Moon Knight, Mark Spectre Moon Knight's getting omnibus, just because that's all uncollected. So Nova's been collected before, but you know what I mean. It's like those classic titles. I'm happy that they're getting more love and attention, and that they will hopefully be ported to the epic collections at some point.
No, we're not doing that. 10 years. There'll be 10 years in Omni format, and then they'll move over to epics. That's the new rule.
Okay, well, as long as it comes at some point.
Starting after this episode. Omnidog, what's the book you're most excited for?
Well, my favorite comment is at 157 that Andrew loves my shirt. Thank you very much, Andrew. What was the question? Moon Knight, Mark Spector. Haven't read it. Looking, I think I like the black cover the best. Haven't read any of it. I was sort of in and out of Marvel Comics in the 90s. So this is all new to me, and I'm most excited about this one.
That's the Dennis Cohen cover, and then this is the Carl Potts cover. Yeah, Carl Potts was he was doing it. Editor, writing, layouts. I think he came from was it advertisement? Came over to Marvel from advertisement. I don't know if did you ever interview him, Kurtis? Oh, you're muted again. You're muted.
Well, you hear that leaf blower back there. No, I don't know his story, but it sounds like Fabian Nisi is his story, because he came from marketing in Marvel, moved over to writing. I actually have to jump off the call. I have another call at 11, so I need to actually go. I'm sorry, everybody, but it's been fun talking to you.
Yes, and thank you for joining us, man.
Totally. It's been great. So thanks, everybody. Check out Epic Marvel Podcast.
Good to see you, Kurtis.
Bye, Kurtis. And then there were 3. All right. Whoa. Kurtis didn't get to hear my choice. How rude.
What is your choice? Let me see if I can guess. Nova.
Yeah, I'm excited for Nova. But Thunderbolts Volume 3.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go with Thunderbolts 3. I think Nova will get a lot of love. I don't think you need my seal of approval on Nova. People are going to buy Nova. It's great. Thunderbolts, when you get to a Volume 3, people are like, I don't know, how are they going to keep the big surprise going? But it wasn't. Like, after the first issue, the big reveal, it's about the characters and learning to care about the characters and all the drama that happens to them. A lot of, some characters don't make it out. This is the one for me. I hope.
Cool.
I know that people really enjoyed the, what was it called? The Thunderbolts Dark Avengers era. So I think it was when Warren Ellis took over the book, and then it was eventually Jeff Parker. And Jeff Parker's run on Thunderbolts is phenomenal. That definitely gets my seal of approval.
I read the Ellis Thunderbolts. That was amazing.
It's good. It was good. It was different than this.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is my Thunderbolts. There were some things I didn't like about that run, but the artwork was great. Was it Mike Deodato? I think it was Mike Deodato. Nova would get more love if it had the wrong.
Wow.
Yeah. Too bad we didn't get stealth restocks of Volume 1 of Thunderbolts. I think it's still in print, isn't it? I don't think it's out of print. I don't think. But those were my choices, and let's go back to everybody here. There we go. I'm just reading here what people are excited about.
Yeah, and it's understandable how some people are like, this doesn't really do it for me, and some people are like, I'm buying 7 to 10 of these. Even if this one particular month is not your cup of tea, I mean, God, we live in such an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, Omar, you just did a review of The Question.
I know.
By Denny O'Neil Omnibus. What the heck? I mean,
how surreal is that?
Surreal.
We have The Question in omnibus format. And no,
my copy's in the mail. My copy's coming to me. So yeah.
I feel the same way about a lot of the Marvel books. You know, when I see complaints about like, why doesn't Marvel do this and this? Like, man, I mean, 10 years ago, it was insane how many books there were. Like, many books.
Or give it time. I mean, yeah, we are Legion of Superheroes fans, and the Legion of Superheroes 5 years later, Volume 2 Omnibus just came out. That's dumbfounding.
Those two books together are enormous. They're like weightlifting.
Yeah, and it exists and it's on my shelf. It's unbelievable. Stuff that had never been collected before. Yeah. Good times.
I'm just clicking on people's answers. Love the variety too. And there are people that are excited for some trade paperbacks, not even epic or omnibus editions.
Yeah.
The Knights of X, that good, huh?
It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. Yeah, it's not my favorite X-Men, but it's good. Most of it, yeah, absolutely. And again, when we say that Maestro is fast tracked, I think them announcing Maestro helped, because then you're like, okay, boom, it's coming out, and like, I will pre-order both of those, absolutely no hesitation, and then it's done. Yeah,
I'm happy to see one of my favorite creators with that many volume numbers under his belt.
Yeah,
for a guy to look at that on the shelf and say, okay, that was 10. Was it 10 years? 10 years worth of storytelling.
Yeah, it was
more, right? Because we got all these almost companion pieces coming. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Moon Man for me. Pad 5. Yeah, I love the different answers. That's great.
And I mean, you just stop and think, like, anything that's not out, like the next 2-3 years, even how much of it's going to get paved over, as it were, and collected that's never been collected before.
Well, and then there could always be things like Conan too one day, like with Marvel getting some licenses back. I mean, for me, selfish reasons, of course, Transformers and G.I. Joe.
Someone was talking about why the Indiana Jones license is just kind of lame.
I don't know. I honestly don't know if that's LucasArts or if that's.
It is a little odd. Of course, there's a new indie film out next year, so maybe they'll put some stuff out.
Maybe they'll do it.
Yeah. Bye, Kurtis. Now, is that because they're leaving, or or you were about to, your life's about to end?
Oh, that's dark.
No,
but bye, Kurtis.
But it's Dark Avengers best ever. I don't know about that one.
No, that's Warren Weaver. He's the anti-Omnidog. He hates everything I like.
We agree on almost. No, we don't. Never mind. Warren argues about everything with me except for is it manga or X-Men? I can't remember. No, he hates X-Men. I'm late. Did they end up including those Thunderbolts? No, not yet, Marcelo. But
is that the fight bolts that he's talking about?
Yeah.
That nobody wanted to read, but a lot of people still want included.
It's funny, when I took the poll, the poll was pretty heavy on the must include it, all or nothing. Excited for Punisher Volume 1. Really enjoy that series so far. Yeah, that's the new Jason Aaron, right? Ryan, I want them all. F4 by Miller, Sugar Man. I knew there was something off with you. My dream omnibus would be the Godzilla Marvel years.
Yeah.
Yes. I have a beat up copy of my Godzilla Essential that I can't get rid of until we get something
Right.
back one day.
Someone wanted me to show off my. Oh, Omar, you did a review of this, didn't you? The
Yeah, that's
Warlock,
the gallery.
Warlock Gallery Edition, which is like the
Beautiful book.
biggest gallery edition they've ever did. It's an impressive piece of work. And actually, I was just in Colorado, and I happened to go into Mile High, and I'm ashamed to say I didn't know they'd done a statue of this piece of art, which is really impressive. So no, it's a great book. Great book.
Let's see. Did I miss the planet? No, Planet Hulk was not in this one. I'm happy about Miller F4 just because it means more F4 Omnibus.
Yeah, that's just it. And by the way, this is the thing. I mean, if somehow that run on an FF is not your cup of tea, you will not be denied. There will be more Fantastic Four.
I hope so. I hope we keep getting more. I hope we get eventually a Tom DeFalco stuff. I know that Mark Waid's run needs to be reprinted, which is a stellar run if you've not read it. Yeah. Please, Omar, work your power. I love it. People think I have power. I don't even have power in my own household, people. Never mind.
Omar, didn't you tell me that your household's a democracy? You get one vote, and Melanie gets 3 votes.
Melanie, the kids get so many more votes than I do.
Get more votes.
I think it's impressive that Omar gets a vote. I get no votes.
You get no votes?
0.
I think they humor me in telling me that I get a vote, but it never matters.
Someone says my favorite Fantastic Four is the musical version in Arrested Development.
Oh,
that was freaking hilarious.
I wasn't the biggest fan of that season, but the season with his character is so great. It's so great. Please ask him to release a modern Black Widow Omni. That would be solid. Honestly, I'd like to see Kelly Thompson's run.
Yes.
Oversized hardcover.
Yes.
She deserves it. It was a really good book.
Great book.
Yeah. My favorite Fantastic Four is the musical. That's who you were talking about.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Falco FF. Heck yeah. Okay, Warren, we agree on that, but I lose you when I'm talking about X-Men, don't I?
Yeah, I mean, and I know some of what we're saying is heresy to completists, and maybe we need to do that video on completism versus, more discerning approach to your hobby. But again, if that particular run at FF's not for you, well, don't buy it.
That's always the option. Don't buy it.
Yes, you could not buy it unless you're insistent on buying everything related to a property, which personally I don't.
When your friends come over, they'll judge your bookshelf going, dude, you don't have Fantastic Four by Mark Miller.
That's what you fear the most in life.
Make it easier on yourself and don't invite anybody in, like me.
Wait! You let friends into your comic book library? That's outrageous.
Yeah, and none of them are impressed. Maybe some of my friends' wives are like, "Do you dust? How much dusting takes place down here?"
I actually got a hop for a doctor's appointment, but thank you so much for having me on, buddy.
God bless you, sir.
Lars, great to see you.
Always good to see you.
Thank you for having me on, Omar.
Where can people find you, buddy?
Omnidog's Vault on YouTube and Omnidogs_Vault on Instagram. And I appreciate all the positive comments in the chat. People are very nice. I appreciate that.
Okay.
And thank you for inviting me. Peace and love.
Always
Peace
a pleasure,
and love.
brother. Be good, man.
Always a pleasure.
We'll see you next time. Thanks.
Pleasure.
Bye, man.
Omar, people's memories is quite shocking because
Why?
Yeah, Mr. Ramos, that you remember such details is incredible. Yes, I had the Panini one, and yes, you are correct. I upgraded to the full. I upgraded to the full Captain Britain. Can you see it on the screen? Yeah, okay. Apparently you can. Yes, I did. You know what? That was an instance where I was just like, oh, to heck with it. I'm just gonna.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I'm a big enough Excalibur fan, and that was an instance where like, screw it. Also, it was heavily discounted. And when the price dipped to like $65 or whatever, I was like, okay, my love can be bought. It's fine. Yeah.
And then there were two. So yeah, very excited. I think there were a lot of good solicits in this one.
Yes.
And I will ask about Thunderbolts. I'll definitely have to ask what the DM cover is for Hick Avengers Volume 2, since my video said to be determined. I don't think they'll use that one since they've used that cover for Avengers Classics Volume.
Right.
What was it? Volume 4, I think. Any announcements for this week? I think one, but it's not Omnibus. No, not this week. Maybe next week. It's not Omnibus related though. Oh, Catwoman. Yes. I just got it. My original copy, which was shipped out like 4 weeks ago, lost in the mail. I had no idea where it was. They just considered it lost. So I finally got a copy right before I went to Heroes Con. So I started reading it this week, but this week is also my heavy week because I'm working on my upcoming collected editions for the month of July. Right. So I did start reading it, and I just kind of want to read as much as I can before making the video. So maybe Sunday, maybe Monday for that video, but it will come out. I got to do a video when it's one of my most wanted. When are you announcing expanded JMS Thor? I didn't know that was a thing. When will Superior Spider-Man ISBN be on Amazon? When did I say that was coming? That might be May or it might be June. So it will be in the next catalog. It'll be uploaded in the next catalog. Omar, will you please tell David Gabriel about increasing quality control issues in super thin paper from the iMac printer? I had recently quality control problem with my astonishing X-Men Omni. I mean, I've made them aware in the past. In the day, though, I mean, they do whatever they see fit.
One suspects they know. I mean, you know,
I've mentioned them to them in the past, like, and it's not just you. It's a lot of people that have messaged me, and then I let them know. But I also I don't know if there are contracts. I don't know any of that stuff. So that's all I can do is relay the message.
This is not to, you know, how should I say this? Excuse any deficiencies in the product, but it is still an ongoing problem. So I'm here in Des Moines down the road from Meredith, which is a huge magazine publisher. And they announced that the latest issues of Better Homes and Gardens and People magazine, which sell, I mean, millions of copies. The latest issues, there was
going to be Warriors.
What?
I refuse to believe they sell more than
they do not do New Warriors. No, Better Homes and Gardens and People. They just weren't going to release the print issues because there wasn't enough paper. I mean, this is a freaking major corporation putting out major properties.
Where are they located?
What?
Where are they located? I'm sorry.
And here in Des Moines.
So it is a U.S. printer?
I mean, who's doing their printing? I'm not sure. But the point is, this is a major company.
Headquarters. Gotcha.
Yeah. The headquarters is here. But this is a major company that, like, you know, they should be fairly near the front of the line in terms of getting paper. And, like, to not release the print issue of Better Homes and Gardens is just, it's shocking. So I think Marvel's, that's my way of saying Marvel's probably having some of these same dilemmas. I'm sure they're doing the best they can.
I honestly, I don't know. I know when we talked about the paper shortage, they had already things in the schedule. So yeah. They still print magazines. That's so sad that we have to ask that. Yes, I think
a lot of them they don't. But Better Homes and Gardens still sells millions.
Yeah, we'll be doing a giveaway for the 70,000 for sure. For 70,000, it's my way of paying it forward. That's a good topic for discussion. Pay the same price but lower quality paper, or pay more for better quality. Ooh.
That is a good question. I know that certainly for me, anything that's in hardcover, I don't want the paper quality to be too dreadful. Sometimes when you're buying soft cover, you just kind of accept, okay, it's kind of newsprinty or whatever. And we've all done that. But I just feel like if it's in hardcover, it should be better.
Is there really only one collection? OHC? I thought there was another book that was coming out. Wait, I'll have to go back and to see that list. Thank you, Adam, for the kind words. We're running out of trees.
We're running out of trees.
Well, I'm doing my share. I'm planting a bunch. My kids and my wife are going to be planting a bunch of trees back there.
Yeah. Omar, random question for you. I notice a fair amount of solicits these days that they're billed as being a collection of a particular writer and a particular artist. And I'm wondering what your thoughts are then when they have a cover that's not by that artist. Because whatever one's feelings on Fantastic Four by Mark Miller and Brian Hitch, it occurs to me the cover should be by Brian Hitch. But then they do the direct market version. It's like, oh, we're going to use someone else. I'm like,
no, it's Mark Silvestri. He gets a pass.
Well, I get that, but I'm like, if you're building this artist,
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Like if it's a Ryan Stegman on the name,
Yeah.
Or yeah, I get it.
It'd be like if you did X-Men by John Byrne, but the direct market cover was by Dave Cockrum. That would be very weird.
Well, I think that's happened before, right?
No, it has happened.
I'm thinking of what's it called? Direct markets with volumes 1, 2, and 3, and 4 of the Silver Age, but those aren't creator-centric books. So
yeah, exactly.
What was the latest one that I announced that they added the artist name in there for a volume 1? Oh, what was it? It was a run by writer and artist. So it seems like they're giving the artist more credit. So I think that might be honestly something fairly new, though, is that it seems like they're going back and putting in the writer and artist. Daredevil, for example, the first printing of Daredevil was just by Frank Miller. It wasn't Daredevil by Frank Miller. And I'm sorry, who the heck is who else is credited on this? Klaus Janson or is it Mazzucchelli? Is it Jansen? Okay.
Oh, I think it's Klaus. Yeah.
Okay. How is it that the reprint of Brubaker's Daredevil is $25 more expensive than the original printing, but the paper quality is so much worse? 10 years. That's how. Inflation. I mean, that's an easy answer. I can take that one. Look, I'm also I've said this before, I'm also a collector of toys. Anything that is petroleum based has gone up. And toys is insane. I did a comparison with my buddy Omnidog and Super Squad D on his channel, and Super Squad, and I was talking about how the prices from 2018 have almost doubled for toys. $15 to $19 in the same year. It went up 3 times. It's crazy. And I'm not comparing toys to paper, but I mean, we're basically looking at the same thing: plastic and cardboard on boxes. It's inflation. It happens. It's crazy.
No, you're right. I have also noticed that some of these single collections here. So here I've got the back in the Excalibur.
Yeah, I remember those.
Volume 3, but it's the thin ones. Though these can actually go for more money because the paper quality is so good. Again, these were done a long time ago, and I suppose paper issues were less. Because like the Peter David Hulk.
Visionaries.
Yes, exactly. A couple of those can go for decent money, and I would assume it's because the paper quality is the highest of the softcover releases these days.
Toys. Ask your mother-in-law about the rise of prices, and she's a big Lego collector. Yeah. I've seen the Optimus Prime. Woo! Omar and beautiful Lars. What's up, Max? How you doing, buddy? I only just got here. Did I miss anything good? You missed everything. You got to rewind everything, buddy.
No, you missed nothing.
Alex has been asking me this a couple times. What did I think of how they treated Janice Vell in the Thunderbolts run? Well, that was definitely not the way that I thought it was going to end. That's for sure. I like Peter David's run on Janice Vell. I thought his character was awesome. I like Fabian, and doing what was it called? Legacy. I think that's what he was going by at the time. Mm-hmm. So I know that Fabian also has a love for that character.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was okay. I didn't like how he wasn't in there as much as I wanted him to do.
Yeah.
So how does DC manage to make reasonable priced omnis with good quality paper?
I mean,
that's another question I can't answer. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be a number of things. Could be that they do a smaller print run. Could be that they don't print as many omnis. I really don't know. Or it could be that they have a contract and the contract is honored by I think they use a Canadian printer still.
I'm sure it's just kind of a shell game of where can they get the quality paper, where, what are they willing to commit quality paper to? DC did do some hardcovers back in the day with really shoddy quality. But they've gotten better of late. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, reason I'm upgrading my 52 Omnibus, even though it's $175.
Why is that $175? Do we have any idea? That seems weird to me. It can't be because it's selling.
I think because the first printing was 150 of that one.
Was it? I guess you're.
I want to say it was 150. I remember that one being one of the most expensive ones. That and Teen Titans, but they just decided to raise the price $25. Maybe that's maybe that's one of the trial runs they're doing. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the Golden Age stuff that they release in omnibus format, that's always been the higher price point too, of 150 to 175. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure we're going to see 175 too at Marvel. It's just one of those things that's bound to happen.
I don't know why, but 175 retail price does stick in your craw a little bit. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it shouldn't, but of course that means the discount will be higher, but still.
let me see here. Hey,
Never
Omar
bought-
Lars never bought a Marvel Omnibus. Is the difference between Marvel and DC so much in terms of omnis? Are you asking, is there a difference? Not so much. I mean, the height and the height's the same, just about. People are saying that DC's paper stock is thicker these days. And I don't know. I'm on the mind of like, I'm used to the way that I remember omnis being when I opened them up, and I could tell a bad binding. Now it takes a little bit. I think they finally figured out, both Marvel and DC, what a good binding is on these big books.
Yeah.
Although my question tend to have a tight binding, but that's okay. I mean, you can crack the glue with a couple of reads through that, and believe me, you're going to want to read that one a lot. So, I mean, there really is no difference other than the paper stock. And that Marvel Omnis print a lot more than DC Omnis.
Yeah. However, it's happened. How should I say this? Marvel's commitment to the omnibuses is higher in terms of what comes out and what's in print. Now, my theory has always been that Marvel has the advantage that it probably sells a bit better than DC, which means that if they want to commit to doing, all due respect, a fairly low-selling series like Nova, they can do it. Whereas, DC has much more of a habit of soliciting stuff and going, oh, it's not selling, we can't do it. That's what I'm talking.
Never mind. That's a different topic I was going to get into.
Well, yeah.
Why did they go? Never mind. Mark Waid's Flash Omni is 1,000 pages and 150. That size book was between 100 and 125. Again, the price of just books, man. This is my buddy Josh, who has a great Kickstarter, by the way. It's called my wife was the editor on the book. It's Bang, the Ballad of the Tiger. Is that right? Did I get it right? Oh my gosh, I always mess that name up. Anyway, I'm going to have him on the show to talk about that Kickstarter. Here is a fun fact of printers. You can do a printer run different files as long as it's the same size. So DC might be doing 3 to 4 printings at the same time. Same reason why Viz always restocks. And hey, Omar, in the live stream on Saturday at normal time, I think so. I don't think I have anything unless my wife throws something my way. Should be at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I wish Marvel would do a DP7.
Oh my.
Look, Nth Man, a DP7. One day.
The point at which they're committing to new universe omnis or something like that. Wow.
I did the Catwoman Omnibus. That's the same paper stock that they've been using. What I did notice with that one, though, was the binding was a little off on that one. Just me.
Yeah. Someone's asking, so Lars thinks Marvel's better than DC. Well, no, not unilaterally, but I think, I don't know, Omar, would you agree? Marvel tends to be better in the sheer number of offerings, like as omnibuses and whatnot, and their ability to keep them in print. I'm talking just accessibility now. I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm just saying accessibility.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. Because if I were to give a gift to my brothers, like I always think about buying my brother's gifts, and one of my youngest brother loves the omnibus format, has fallen in love with it. Yeah. I have New Mutants and New Mutants 2 for him. But his favorite title of all time is like Superman, the Man of Steel. Like he loves Superman, the Man of Steel.
Yeah,
I can't get him an omnibus of that. There's no omnibus of that. Right. Of Superman, the Man of Steel. Right? And I know I keep bringing that one up, like I sound like a broken record, but it's just one that I always make a comparison to. But there are plenty of other classes. Now they have gotten better. They have gotten better.
They have gotten better.
Absolutely, Marvel has the titles, the diversity in all these different titles that they have, and the reprints. The reprints are a big deal to people. People are going to be able to get Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 1 that have never had, and like waiting for that omnibus for years. So,
and DC's doing better. There's a whole bunch of DC reprints coming later this year that you're like, okay, that's good. That's a definite improvement. But there is a sense that they're kind of playing catch up. Yeah.
I ruined my brother's birthday surprise. He'll be fine. He already has Volume 1 and 2. One day I'll get him a Spider or a Superman, Man of Steel. And he also, actually, I take it back. He loves Batman. So I got him No Man's Land, and I told him there was a No Man's Land 2 coming. But he was like, oh, have they done year 1 in this format? And I was like, no, but they've done it in just about every other format.
Yes. It's not hard to get a copy of year 1.
I think it's ridiculous that Marvel sells a volume 1 and a volume 2 of Brubaker Daredevil for 100. Both of these together are smaller than many of Marvel's Omnis. That should have been re-released as one. Okay, but let's think about it from a business perspective. Why? Why would you do that if it has the name Brubaker and you know it's going to sell? There's your answer right there. I mean, we forget that it's also a business, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the DC and Marvel are also businesses, so they have to make decisions like that. Yes, they could have made it into one, but it's so much easier to send the 2 files, the exact same files that they had before. Same thing with Brubaker's Captain America. They sent the exact same files to the printer. They don't need the printer doesn't need a new file or anything for those. Yeah. They just need a new cover. That's about it.
Yeah.
So I mean,
and this is the shell. This is the shell game you play. I mean, publishers just have to make these decisions all the time. You probably could do Christopher Priest or Black Panther by Christopher Priest in one go, but it would be bigger and a higher price point, and you have to decide, is that preferable to 2 smaller ones?
Like, I was shocked, honestly shocked, when I announced Spider-Man 2099.
Right.
Yeah. In one book instead of 2.
Yep.
That surprised me because that one definitely could have been 2 books.
Yep. Yep.
But instead they decided to make it one. So I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know why some get it and others don't. And then there are people that like 2 smaller books.
Personally, I'm not picky about this as long as they come out. I actually think doing Black Panther by Christopher Priest in 2 volumes is preferable because it will be easier for me to read them.
I love big books, so I love my final Crisis Omnibus, Blackest Night Omnibus, that War of the Realm Omnibus, that upcoming AVX Omnibus, which is those 2 big books put together into one. Yeah. So I mean, there are times that they do that they do put 2 books together and give you one.
Because they're doing all of Ryan North's Squirrel Girl, and you're like, Jesus, that's
a huge book. But that might be because maybe they were like, okay, we'll take a chance with this one. Yeah. Might or might not sell, so might as well get it all out with a bang. So I appreciate that. I was waiting to collect Miss Marvel and OHC, seeing that they aren't making those anymore. I guess I'll just wait for Omnis. Yeah, they stopped with G. Willow Wilson.
They did. That was kind of annoying. Yeah.
Saladin Ahmed's run, even though his run just wrapped up, doesn't have an OHC.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I prefer the deluxe editions, and that they did stop with those, and that was kind of annoying. I was buying the Suicide Squad ones, and then they stopped one short, and so yeah.
Big spine and lap counter takes up a lot of space. That it does, dude. Nocturnals. Nocturnals is one that just came out. Omnibus Volume 2 just came out. So people ask me that. That is a fair question to ask. Okay, why can Dark Horse sell these things for $30 and have like a 400-page library edition? Couple of I don't know any other logistics of what kind of deal they work with the creators, but a lot of those are creator owned, so they only have to pay the creators, and whatever deals they work with them, they get a percentage of it, kind of like Image, right? They're just publishing your book. Marvel actually has contracts with creators, the inkers, the editors, things like that. So there is a big difference, like when Dan Brereton wants to print his Nocturnals Omnibus, or I'm sorry, his library edition, as opposed to making something like AVX Omnibus.
Yeah. Again, it's a shell game of how much do they have to pay for it, and what do they expect the sales to be. I know that DC, especially some of their offerings years ago, were like the price point was just shocking, but you stop and think they're probably not expecting to sell many copies, so they need to raise the price to compensate for that.
Most anticipated Omni for a current run. Okay, I'm going to try to think outside of X-Men. So I mean, there are some. Yeah. I think Al Ewing is kicking all kinds of butt though on that Swords of X and X-Men Red. But I will wait. Kelly Thompson. I'm glad she's getting a Captain Marvel Omnibus. I really have been enjoying her run. Jen McKay. I'd love a Jed McKay when it's all said and done. Moon Knight. I've been enjoying his Moon Knight. What about you, Lars?
For a current run, I don't know what counts as current. I am looking forward to the collection of Die by Kieran Gillen.
See, I stuck to Marvel because we have a Marvel catalog. Okay, if I'm breaking the rules and I'm going outside of Marvel, then holy crap, Tom Taylor's Nightwing. Tom Taylor's Nightwing. And I don't know how. I have no idea how they're going to collect that one issue that's an ongoing sequence in full frames.
Right.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Daredevil by Zdarsky is dang it, why didn't I think about that? Thor by Cates, Iron Man by Cantwell. Okay, these are excellent. Jen McKay also getting another boat. Yeah. I was thinking of Marvel because we just did the Marvel catalog.
Yeah.
And yeah, Daredevil by Zdarsky is an excellent choice. X-Men 2099 next year, maybe. Okay, so Josh seems to know why Dark Horse gets their print almost a year ahead. They have tight deadlines, so they most likely combine projects, hence the same formats. Good. They need to. That's a good way of printing it.
Well, I know I would presume Marvel's. I know that DC back in the day was in the habit of, they would print X amount of guts of a particular release, and then they could go hardcover or softcover, whichever they preferred, and they could save some money that way. I presume Marvel did the same practice, but I know that DC did.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that, for example, when it's printed in the U.S., it's a lot more. That Death and Lives of Wolverine, X Steps and Lives of Wolverine, it's $75 because it was printed in Versailles, Kentucky.
Yeah,
and
I didn't care.
If that had been printed at the iMac printer that we're complaining about,
yeah.
people are complaining about, some people, and that would have been $40.
Yeah.
So there is a price to pay if you're printing it here in the States. But that's another story. So at this point, I just want to thank my co-host, Lars, for joining me, the last man standing here with me. Thank you so much. This is a lot of fun. We do this every month. And again, you will be seeing the catalog out elsewhere in a couple of weeks. I think Marvel releases that middle of the month, I think, somewhere. So check out comicreleases.com, ran by a great crew. Thank you again to David Gabriel and the folks at Marvel for sending this advanced notice of the solicits. Great to look at it and then see a couple of mistakes there. Hopefully we get them fixed. Give us a like, please. Share a video. It means the world to me. I'm going to go eat something and I will be back tomorrow, probably tonight. Actually, the Heroes Con video needs to go up, so I'll probably do that. Lars, where can people find you?
I am on madnorwegian.com. And a few of you have emailed me there about various comics-related things we've been talking about, and please feel free to do so. If you hit the contact button, it comes straight to me. We have 3 more Doctor Who books out next year. I filed the paperwork with the distributor, and I'm waiting for it to percolate through, but we will shortly be properly announcing second edition of the Tom Baker version of a volume of About Time, and it's going to come out in 2 volumes because it's so massive.
Yes. Huey, Soldier Boy, Homelander, and Butcher. Huey's the greatest. Really, I love me some Butcher though. Everyone, thank you so much.
Where can I find you?
I'm here every day. I'm here in condition. We do have a social media. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Yes.
My wife started a TikTok where she's had me doing little snippets of my bookshelves. It's been kind of fun. It's been cute. And she likes growing that community. She is in charge of that. Everybody go and check out Josh Greathouse's amazing Kickstarter. Seriously. He's a phenomenal artist that undersells himself. Check out cheapgraphicnovels.com here in the U.S. if you're interested in some of these books. Have books up to 50% off. Tell them your mint condition sent you their way for free shipping on your next order. Everyone stay healthy and safe. Much love.
Thank you, everyone.